Hello YouTube, this is Bonnie from Dragon Soap. Oh boy, today we get to cut the Lilac Fantasy Soap. But before we cut the soap, let's go ahead and unmold our little silicone molds. After I turned off the video last night, I went through with my dough scraper slash soap cutter and just neatened up the backs a bit. So that's sounding a little squishy. Maybe they're too soft to cut. Let's find out. Come on. Out you go. Oh dear. Maybe it is too soft. Oh. Look at that. I think that turned out really nice. And yeah, I sprinkled some glitter in. That doesn't work quite as well as I might hope, because the glitter's it's all flat inside the mold, so you don't get any of the sparkly that you would get from it falling in slightly different, facing slightly different directions, like almost a faceted. Oh, and this is my new mushroom cottage mold. That turned out nice. I like that. Actually, let's array them so we can see them. My thatched cottage soap. Got a couple little air bubbles in there. I think this is the one that was getting thicker and I put in with the spoon. So I'm not really surprised there's a couple air bubbles. This is the only Christmas cottage I did yesterday. There we go. I'd sing Blue Christmas, but trust me, you don't want me to. I got a little bit of a ridge along here. I think it's because, if you can see it, this had thickened up a little bit, as you can see from the air bubbles, and I was scraped off the extra on the back and was trying to mush it around and smooth it around, and it was pulling the silicone away from it, and that's how this got in there, but that's okay. I wiped off, hair fell off my head. I wiped off, I'm going to have to get a hairnet. I wiped this off so there wouldn't be any possibility of like a stray cat hair from last night or something, in case my cat jumped up on the counter, but I dropped my own hair instead. Okay, this is the sea foam. I don't think I've ever done a soap before that was just sea foam without swirled with something, so I'm pleased with that color. And here's my pink thatched cottage. It's got a little bit of stuff around the edge too because the same thing, I was mushing it around trying to smooth out the back. Well, this white stayed nice and white, didn't it? Of course, I put titanium dioxide in it, but I didn't think the fragrance oil would discolor. That doesn't mean it won't. Yeah. And again, I'm going to not mush around in the future because that really doesn't look all that good, does it? But anyway, in the Christmas cottage. So, onto the log mold. The soap did gel underneath. The top didn't gel, but underneath it did. You could see down here particularly where it's a little bit green, it was a really translucent dark green. It looked like the sea. It was really kind of cool. And you can see there's a little bit of upwelling here and the white here. And there's a crack right along the edge here, which is better than a crack up the middle like I usually get when it cracks. So, I still smell lilac, so that's good. Wow. This lavender's really close to that pink. It's still quite a bit different. Okay. I don't know if I mentioned in the last video, I got these wooden molds from Creekside Soap Supplies. And I really like them. They're 3 1/4 inches wide, 3 1/4 inches deep on the inside. And this one is 10 5/8 inches long. I have a couple of longer ones. The interior dimensions are the same height and width, but the length is different. So if I want to try out a decorative technique or something, I can do it in the smaller mold for test sizes. And it'll be exactly the same dimensions as the longer mold, just shorter. I think I did mention that in the last video. Ooh. Come on. I guess if I'd left longer tails, I'd have more to grab, wouldn't I? I might have had some, there we go, some soap seep out. When I first started using these molds, I used the method that Creekside has on their website for doing 2 pieces of freezer paper instead of trying to do 1. I'd been doing one with a wooden slab mold I used to use, and it was such a nightmare. And this technique, using the one for the length and the other one for the width, is much easier, but oh, that's still sticky. Sometimes you get a little bit of seepage in the corners, but it doesn't happen all that often. I actually, when I first started using this mold, I would put a little piece of paper in here behind these 2 pieces. You know what? Remember what I said about a dark green, kind of oceany light green? I don't know if you can see from the camera. This is still very soft, so I'm not going to cut it right now. But look at that green. Okay, well, I'm going to turn this off and we will resume in a few hours when it's hopefully a little bit harder. I like the top though. I'm liking it. It's interesting, isn't it? The difference in color. This is the same color as this, but this gelled and this did not. Let's compare the lavender color. This did not gel, this down here did. Although, I don't know if you can see from there. These corners here are a little bit lighter. Either they're, wow, you can see it gelled in the middle. I hope that goes away. Maybe it didn't gel in these corners. And they are still pretty much the same color as this, but the inside is darker. It's darker. Okay, darker. I'm sorry. I'll quit talking like an idiot. Okay, so that's going to be it for now. We'll wait and see if that gets a little less tacky and see what happens with those colors.